Hey everyone, this is Steve Larsen, and you're listening to a very special Sales Funnel Radio.
Welcome to Sales Funnel Radio, where you'll learn marketing strategies to grow your online business using today's best internet sales funnels. And now, here's your host, Steve Larsen.
All right, everyone. Hey, I've got a really unique episode here. This is fascinating stuff. Now, I've interviewed a lot of people on this podcast, and I've gone through and we've got some great advice from great people in the past, and today's no different though. But a really cool spin, and I want to introduce you to a guy I've just come to know just in the last couple of days, actually, named Dan Henry, who is crushing it in the Facebook ad area, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about it, but just killing it. And the thing that grabbed my attention right off the bat is I was scrolling through Facebook, and I see this thing that says from pizza boy to $200,000 in a couple months, and I was like, what the heck? That's always going to grab your attention. And there was a Stripe screenshot, and I was like, crap, this is real. And it's like, who is this kid? And I start going through it, and really fascinating story. So with that, I just want to introduce everyone to Dan Henry. Dan, how you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going? It's super early, but how's it going, Steve?
It's going good. Yeah, just so everyone knows, Dan was like, I became an entrepreneur so I don't have to get up early in the morning, And
Yeah, you're darn right. I became an entrepreneur, especially an online entrepreneur, so I can sleep in.
Awesome.
That's my whole thing.
That's awesome.
But how you doing this morning?
I'm doing awesome. I, like you, took down a whole bunch of caffeine, and I am loving it. It's just starting to hit. Hey, I really want to know, and so does everyone else. I asked a few questions to people on the Sales Funnel Broker, Secret LM Hacks, like a lot of different pages. Like, hey, I'm about to interview this awesome guy. Like, what do you guys want to know? And I got a huge list of questions from people, actually.
Wow.
Number one, people want to know. Literally, I think someone wrote, how does a pizza boy, like, tell us about your story. How does a pizza boy go to $200,000? We'd love to know how that happened.
Well, I'll go through it. At $200,000 it's getting crazy at this point. I did 32 yesterday. I'm at 9,045 so far today.
Wow. You're past 200, obviously.
Oh, way past 200.
Yeah.
That was, I've been doing over 100,000 a month for the past 3 months, and it's getting wild now. Like, I'll probably do close to 200 just this month.
Right.
Excuse me. So, it's getting nuts. So let me see if I can run through this from beginning to end as cleanly and quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So basically, back in 2009, I was a pizza boy. I was just, your standard douchebag.
That does not reflect all pizza boys, by the way. Just want to put that disclaimer in there.
It reflects me. So I saw these articles and these Business Insider things and all this stuff about these guys that were making stupid money,
Yeah.
just 18-year-old kids making $1 million. And I was just like, what is this? And it was this online marketing thing. And I was like, I got to learn this. So I spent 2 years just going nuts. Going nuts and trying to learn it.
How were you trying to learn it?
The normal ways: podcasts, buying crappy digital marketing products.
Sure.
That
That's
whole
kind of the
thing.
gauntlet we all run through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of the early days with the Digital Point forums and the Warrior forums and all that. So that whole thing. And I didn't really try anything until 2011, and when I did, it was a blog, and I was doing the whole SEO affiliate marketing blog thing.
Yeah.
And it was not how to make money. I know everybody starts with how to make money, even though they haven't made a dime, which I don't friggin' understand.
Yeah.
But mine was electronic cigarettes. Okay.
Okay.
And I went from $145 my first month in commissions to $30,000 a month my 14th month, so just over a year. So I was making $30,000 a month in a year. I was doing really, really well. Life was great. I thought I was on top of the world.
Sure.
And then the whole SEO crash happened.
Right.
All that income just went poof, gone. You know, it was just gone. So excuse me, everything I worked for was just gone in a flash. And I had a bunch of money in the bank because I had made that for that long of a time. And so I went and I bought a nightclub, and I took my skills offline because I was kind of, I was bitter a little bit about it. And I was like, well, I want to start a real business. So I started this nightclub, and I remodeled it, and that's where I first started to learn Facebook ads because I had to bring business into my nightclub. And in just over a year, I flipped the nightclub for a $300,000 profit.
Wow.
Now, you would think that that's all grand and well, but unfortunately, due to some really bad investments, me investing in some software products I was trying to do, not paying taxes for 3 years like an idiot, I wound up literally broke at the end of it. Okay. And this was actually last year that I was still broke. Like last year, I could not keep my lights on almost. I had just gotten married to my wife, who is a lawyer in Turkey, but does not have her. She's working on it now to get her law degree here.
Right.
But she had to get a job, and this woman is a lawyer.
Right.
She had to get a job at a Turkish restaurant to help me pay the electric.
Wow.
And so it was embarrassing for her, and it was embarrassing for me because I had, there was, that I felt like responsible that I made her do that. And I'm sitting here, trying to keep afloat. I started another blog, and I was making about $6,000 a month doing that, but it wasn't consistent, and I was barely keeping afloat. And so that was bad. And then, I started, people wanted to know how I made money back then and all this. And people had always asked me, how did you make this money to buy this nightclub, to do this, to do that? So I thought about coaching, but I didn't really get into it. And I started doing Facebook ads more, and I started taking on clients, okay? And this is when it turned around. I started taking on local clients, real estate, all that stuff. And in about a month, I scaled to $10,000 a month in clients, okay? First month.
You're running ads for them, for their business.
Yeah, just running ads for them, okay? And getting them great results. What really launched me was I had this real estate agent, or not real estate agent, condo development in Texas. And I spent $441 in ads, and they ended up selling $900,000 worth of condos in a week.
Wow.
And then I got interviewed on I ended up getting interviewed on TV about it.
I saw your picture all over the place. It's like, cool, this guy's been on TV too.
Yeah, I've been on TV a lot. I've been on Business Insider twice.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully working on getting on the Steve Harvey show. We've been going back and forth with the producer for a while.
Wow.
So hopefully I can get on there. In case Steve is listening, hey, I'm on the list.
We'll send it straight to him. This is for you, Steve. You better, from one Steve to another.
Yeah. So anyway, things started looking better. I had clients, and then I started doing a little bit of coaching for Facebook ads, for online marketing. I did try to put out a blogging course, but unfortunately, most bloggers are friggin' lazy. They don't take it seriously. They think it's some sort of hobby, not a real business. And I got, I got out of that real quick because I just weren't the people I wanted to be dealing with. So this went on for a few months, and I got back on my feet, and I was making crazy money with clients. So then, people obviously started asking me, well, how did you do this? How did you quickly make money with these clients and all this? They were asking me this stuff. So I decided to put out a little group coaching program, and it was only like 7 people. And this was where my course sort of started happening. And because I don't understand this whole let's build a course and sell it. Like, you got to know that your course works. Like, you might know how to do something, but you got to know that you can teach it to somebody.
Right. It's totally different skill for sure.
Right. So I took 7 people, and I worked with them personally, more of a group coaching than a course. And I tweaked things, and I figured out what was helping them and whatnot, and what they really got in tune with, and where their roadblocks were. And I changed I changed the material. I launched again to about 15 people, and then I revised it. I did all these like little launches until I had it down.
Right.
And I got, I've got 3 guys right now who were doing nothing, $0, and now they're making over $10,000 a month. And one of them is a doofy 19-year-old kid. The other is a slightly less doofy 22-year-old kid, and the other one is in his 30s. He's got a family.
No doof.
Yeah. No, he's still a dude.
No, can I just point out real quick what you just said? Like, okay, for the audience, what Dan just said is amazing, because we tell people to do this all the time. Someone the other day just asked me, like, how do I get started? How do I do this? And I keep saying how to do it, and we keep saying how to do it. Like, go get results first. It's so much about that.
Yes.
Oh, man,
Yes.
you can't just go jump out and just start saying, like... Yeah.
Listen, Steven, nobody's going to listen. They're not. They're just going to be like, yeah, okay. They're going to nod their head, and they're going to go and they're going to drink their overpriced latte, and they're not going to do what you're telling them to do. Okay? That's what's going to happen. 99% of the people listening to this right now are going to not do it.
Yeah, I worked for free for like 10 months for one company just to get them sweet results. And when they were making like 60 grand every email drop, then I was like, okay, now you guys can start paying me. And I took that story and I went and I sold it, and that's how I got going in this industry. Same thing as you. Anyways, totally awesome. Yeah, results first, everybody, before you get paid.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so basically, I had results, so I decided to do an actual launch. And I did an actual launch with an email sequence, no webinar, just an email sequence, and I made $15,000 that month. And that was fine. I was like, okay, that's cool, but I was a little disappointed. So then I started implementing more of the of Russell's stuff from like .com secrets, because I digest everybody's stuff, and my favorite mixture right now is like if you took Russell Brunson and put him in a bathtub with Ryan Levesque, maybe sprinkled a little Derek Halpern on, not too much, but too much, it's way too strong, and just grinded them all up.
All right.
And
yeah, it's a great picture.
So, but so I got that whole like little mixture going on. But so I started really getting into webinars. I took a webinar that I was working on, and I used the perfect webinar script.
Okay. It's amazing.
And it was the same content. I just used Russell's format.
Yeah.
It really helps. And I put that all together, and I launched. And I used all the same strategies I taught with Facebook ads for my launch, obviously, because that's And I ended up doing that month. I ended up doing $104,000.
Holy cow! Now was that just 3 months ago you're talking about?
Yeah, that was 3 months ago.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yep. And here's the funny part: I didn't pay for any ads.
Really?
No. You know why? Because as soon as you opted in for my webinar, I hit you with I didn't take you to a thank you page. I didn't take you to a hey, here you registered for the webinar. I took you to an upsell. It was it's a $37 product, and the way I framed it was, hey, I'll just tell you what it was. It was called Pixel Hero. Basically, you sign up for my webinar, and what I did was the webinar was it was called it is a super long name. It was called How I Made $10,000 My First Month Running Facebook Ads for Clients, and How You Can Too, even if you don't have results to show first.
Sure.
Okay. And I taught a method, and it's funny because it's all revolving around the get results first method. Yeah. Even though it says even if you don't have results first, it's a very interesting method. But so I do that webinar, and I do the webinar, and then on the thank you page, it was called Pixel Hero, and I was like, hey, if does a Facebook pixel confuse you? If it does, you might want to check this product out because it will really enhance. This is the key. It will really enhance what you learn on the webinar. I noticed that when I said this thing that's only $37 will enhance what you're gonna learn on the free webinar, it converted at 40%.
Dude, holy crap, that's awesome. Now, was it even your product? Is it just an affiliate thing that you put in?
No, I don't do that crap. No, it was my product.
That's awesome.
I put it together in a night. It was slides and all. It's kind of like Russell's stuff. You do slides and all that stuff, and I'd screen share. And one of the bonuses was how to get webinar registrations for under $1. So that really helped. I kind of hit it from all different ways. I did $9,000 in Pixel Hero sales before I even got on my webinar.
That's amazing. So you literally created a self-liquidating offer for webinars, which is, oh man, that's cool.
Yeah. And I did, you know what I stole from Russell a little bit?
Yeah.
I saw him do this video once where he had a whiteboard and he had the price, but he had paper taped up to the wall.
Dude,
and
go ahead.
He did the whole thing, and the paper's there, and I'm thinking, dude, just shut up and rip off the paper, for crying out loud. So, and I'm thinking, wait a minute.
That's why he does it.
Yes, exactly. And so I was like, well, if I was that emotionally invested into that darn paper getting ripped off. By the way, the only reason I'm saying darn is because I'm on your podcast. I would be saying all kinds of different things normally. And so I did it, and it worked well.
Yeah.
And I ripped it off, and boom, and it worked really, really well. And then I retargeted people, and I was like, hey, this is your last chance, or the price is going up. And I would spend like $3 and make a $37 sale. So, and it just I've done probably $40,000 in that offer today.
That front end offer, which is really probably, I mean, if you get someone to go through and they buy a $37 product, the likelihood that someone actually shows up is huge. You know, watches the thing, goes through, their engagement's high. I mean,
oh yeah, because it's a tripwire.
Yeah.
And so and let me just tell you, man, I've seen these things where Russell or anybody, you guys, you're talking about, oh, this funnel makes us $100,000 a day. Oh, this funnel makes us $30,000 a day.
Which is
and like
true.
when you're, yeah, I know. Oh, I know it's true. And when you're watching that, you're like, oh man, like some people probably are like, that's not even possible.
Yeah.
And then some people are like me, I know it's possible. I know it. I just got to do it. And now that I'm doing it, it's been a crazy ride for me. I remember looking at, you know, I mean, I don't know if it's still big now, but you know, the income reports, like,
yeah.
Who is the guy that was, Pat Flynn?
Pat Flynn does that, yeah.
And the EOI on fire. So I started looking at those, and I remember I saw one with Pat Flynn, and it said, I made 120, income report, 120 grand. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, if I could only make 120 grand in a month, that would be amazing. And now I'm making it like this week.
Like you're matching that.
This week, I've done almost $80,000 this week.
Yeah, you woke up and there's already almost 10 grand in your bank.
Yeah,
That's amazing,
this
man.
week, and that's on very little ad spend. Now it's a little bit higher this week because of the whole Black Friday thing, but I'm doing, first I was doing when I went evergreen, which I'll get into in a minute. Now I'm up to at least $5,000 to $7,000 a day solid, but now it's getting crazy. Now I've had $10,000-$12,000 days. Yesterday was $32,000, but that was Cyber Monday. Friday was $16,000. But so anyway, I did my live webinar, and then I did it again like a month later.
Okay.
And I made about the same amount a month later. But then when I turned it to evergreen, and I used your on the hour webinar,
yeah,
that you guys did, because I saw I think, what was it? Was it the certified partner one that you guys did? And I was like, that's awesome. I want to do that. So I like studied it, and I funnel hacked you basically.
Good.
And I recreated it, and then I spent all this time trying to figure out how to do it, and then you guys end up releasing the code for it like the next day. I was so angry. So angry. I was like, So I just deleted everything I did and used your code. And I did the on the hour thing, and I've just been hitting it, man. And now I just opened my affiliate program, and people, because my webinar converts like great. Like great. I don't have any coffee or anything. My webinar converts great, and I just opened my affiliate program. One of my students made $800 yesterday.
Cool.
On it. So everything's coming together, man, and it's just amazing that last year I could barely keep my electric on, and now this is all happening. And not only that, but I've got student results out the yin yang, and I think that's what really sells my stuff. Is I don't even go into big, long copy. I just constantly push, like every email I send out has a new case study from a student. Like I don't push really my results so much. I mean, I do, but mostly my student results, and I always do headlines for what these student results are, and they're all across the board. I'll push out, like for instance, I had a web designer that spent $100. She landed her first $6,000 client within $100.
Yeah.
I got guys running it as an agency where they got chiropractors and they're making 10 grand a month. I got a bunch of those guys. Real estate guys doing well. I know you know Jessie Cost.
Yeah.
She is killing it. She, like, within 2 weeks of taking the course, she had a killer webinar going. She made $10,000 for a masseuse place, and there was somebody else, I don't remember. But I just got all these like variety of case studies, and I just push them out. And what I do is every single time somebody gets a result, I have my assistant Stephanie get them on Skype or get them on Hangouts for a 5-minute success call. I record it and I immediately push it out or put it in my sequence, and I just put it on my sales page, and I just push the results, because that is honestly what I think matters. I think if you have results, you don't have to be awesome at sales copy, awesome at email sequences or any of that, because at the end of the day, you have the results.
Yeah.
You know, you have the results. So all that other crap is just secondary, I think.
No, it's so true, because so I did door-to-door sales for 2 summers, right? And how many of those tactics I actually use what I do now? Like none. What actually sells the stuff that I do, and actually sells when I build funnels, is I say, hey, I just built for the next president of Alberta, Canada. You know what I mean? And it's helping him in his campaign. You know, hey, you can point back to all these different things, and that it's so much more powerful, because now you sell without actually selling. You know what I mean? You're actually pushing things without actually cramming down their throat, and it becomes very much story based automatically, which is so much more powerful than a pitch that's more generic. Hey, I wanted to ask, so I'm actually drawing while you talk your funnel and all the different pieces. Now, so you go from a registration page.
Do you want me to go through it? Do you want me to just go through the whole thing real quick?
That would be awesome. And then, I mean, you said some crazy stuff. You've got little tiny isms that you're doing as far as capturing stories, getting them on Skype, stuff like that. But those are things that little tiny, I mean, huge impact, like you said. Those are not normal for people to be pulling off. I'd love to hear those kinds of things as well.
All right, here, I'll go through the whole thing. All right, so on my website, danhenry.org, I have a cheat sheet. It's called 7 Proven Steps to Creating, Running, and Profiting from Facebook Ads.
Okay.
It's a PDF cheat sheet. And once you go on there and you opt in, whether it be from a cold ad or Googling me or whatever, you opt in, you get this cheat sheet. Now, and this is where it gets interesting. Once you get the cheat sheet, you get forwarded to a thank you page where I invite you to my free Facebook group called Superhero Entrepreneurs. Now, this is important because I used to try to be super professional, and it wasn't working for me. I just sort of blended in with everybody else. When I started being myself, that's when it blew up. I'm basically the Kevin Smith of online marketing. I'm like extremely juvenile humor, cuss a lot. So when I bring them to the thank you page for my group, I'm wearing a bunny hat ears, and I say, thanks for, joining in. And I tell them about my group. I say, let me invite you into the group. And I say, my spam policy and this is how I pre-frame people right away to get used to how I am.
Sure.
And I say, listen, if you spam in my group, we have a policy. If you spam in my group, I will send you goat balls. My admins will send you pictures of goat balls, and everybody in the group has my permission to PM you with pictures of goat balls. So, they get used to my craziness right away.
Gosh.
So now listen.
Okay.
Seriously, if you go join Superhero Entrepreneurs right now and you spam, you self-promote, you will get sent tons of goat balls. And what happens is we don't even have to ban people. They leave because they get just bombarded with pictures of goat balls. Okay?
What the heck? That's awesome, man.
Now, people, and here's the funny thing, is people enjoy this because I'm making stupid money, but I'm being a total jackass, and I'm letting them know that it's possible you can be yourself. And I'm the type of guy that would send you a picture of goat balls if you spam my group. That's me. So you know what? That's what I'm going to do.
That's awesome.
So I take them to that page. I warm them up to my personality. I get them in my Facebook group, which is key. And then after that, they get sent a 5-day email sequence, which is your soap opera sequence, basically. And that sequence tells them my story, indoctrinates them, and pushes them to my on the hour webinar. So which is it plays every hour, and they register for the webinar. They get forwarded to the webinar room when it's time. They also get now they get an email that offers Pixel Hero, and they also get retargeted for Pixel Hero, and that helps my ad cost and all that.
Now they go right after registration though. There's a kind of that interstitial page though where they go to Pixel Hero, right before confirmation page.
Yeah, what I do is that no, the Pixel Hero only gets offered in the funnel steps when I did it live. When I switched it to Evergreen, I just send an email because I didn't want to, like, what happens if they opt in 5 minutes before it plays? What are they going to do? Watch the sales video and then, I mean, I guess I could split test it, but it's working obviously great right now. So basically they get forwarded to a page, and on this thank you page is just like a 5-minute video where I teach them how to get easy ROI clients, and this warms them up as well. And then I also,
before the webinar even starts.
Yeah, and I send them an email with 3 free videos as well. They can just watch at their leisure. So basically the email they get right away is, hey, here's your and I basically funnel hacked your pro certification thing. Sure. I looked at the email Russell sent, and he was like, no matter what time you opt in, he says it's starting now. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So I did that. And I also said, by the way, here's 3 free videos you could watch anytime that'll help supplement the webinar. So I do that.
Those are kind of your doctrination videos prior to coming on. Okay.
Yeah, I did those videos in the lives when I did the live webinar. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to fit, and I might change this stuff a little bit, tweak it. I'm trying to fit what I did live into this Evergreen thing because it's a little different because they opt in and it plays every hour. The webinar plays every hour, so it's a little bit different. But
so if you don't mind, how many emails are they actually getting then when they opt in? I mean, that could be a concern for some people. They're like, but probably doesn't matter.
Oh, they're fine. They'll live.
Right. Okay.
So they get 2 emails as soon as they opt in.
Okay.
The first email is the whole, here's your link to the webinar. And then the second email is, do you have trouble with the Facebook Pixel? And that is a very short email. It's like 2 sentences. And it basically says, if you have trouble with the Facebook Pixel, just click here. That's it. And it takes them to my OTO page.
Sweet.
But they also get retargeted as well for that. So it's no big deal if they don't read the email. I do tons of sales with retargeting. So then they watch the webinar, they get offered the product, and they have 7 days to sign up. They get emails, and the email sequence at that point is literally just results. I just go nuts. And then I retarget people. This is another interesting thing I should include. When people opt into the cheat sheet, for like 5 days, they get targeted with all my TV interviews, podcasts I've been on, so that they see, basically they opt in.
Social proof like crazy.
Yeah, social proof. Yeah, it's like my credibility. It's like I call it my credibility campaign. Then when they opt into the webinar, now they're getting retargeted with just one of like 9 case studies from my students. Okay, and so I just keep funneling them back to that. And so by the time, if they haven't bought already, by the time day 7 hits, they've only got that much time to buy. They have already been hit with the cheat sheet, the soap opera sequence, the TV interviews I did, the speeches I've done, the all that. Then they got hit with the webinar. Then they got hit with the follow-ups and the case studies, and they're getting hit. Yeah, I'm following them around Facebook with retargeting on the student results and all this. And
wow,
at this point, they're like, and then they if they don't buy, they get forwarded to a waiting list. And I find I do a ton of sales from the waiting list, even though you basically have all this time to sign up. Like I just opened for Black Friday and Cyber Monday to everybody on the waiting list, just the people on the waiting list and people in my group. And like I said, I did $16,000 on Friday, and I did $32,000 yesterday.
So it's from a wait. So I've heard a lot of strategies with that waiting list. And they'll go out and so if someone didn't buy on the webinar, you just toss them. I mean, do you have them
toss them on a waiting
list or?
Yeah, they have to opt in for it. And
how are you getting them to do that?
So once the timer runs out and they can't and the offer expires. Oh, I use deadline funnel, by the way.
Okay, cool.
So once that time's out, no matter where they are, whether it's the sales page or whatever, they get forwarded to the hey, sorry, you missed it. Jump on the waiting list. Okay.
Wow.
And so when every once in a while I'll find a reason to open it up, like Black Friday or Cyber Monday, I send an email out to that waiting list and they just buy like crazy. I literally, one time I sent an email and I was just like, listen, I know you missed the course. You know you want to get it. Just friggin' do it, okay? Click here. And I paid like 10 grand. I mean, I swear to God, I don't know what it is. People like don't read their email or something, you know. And I get emails all the time. Please let me in. Please let me in. Please let me in.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you had 7 days, dude. Like, what is taking so? You know. But it revolves around a key thing here is that there's two very important points here. Number one, I could do this funnel completely different. See, everybody gets so, oh, give me your funnel. Give me your funnel. Give me your funnel. Can I have a copy of your funnel? None of that means anything.
It's true.
If what you put in the funnel sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It literally is the copy. It's the way you do it that matters. Yeah.
Right. So it's, you know, like when you say you funnel hack someone, yeah, you can funnel hack the process, but it's only going to work if whatever you're offering is good. If it sucks and you don't have results, people aren't going to buy just because they went through a certain amount of funnel steps. I mean, that's just ridiculous, you know? So because everybody's sick of people being full of crap these days. Like everybody's full of crap. Like 99.9%. They make $5 online. Now they want to go create a course.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So when I created my course, I did it in stages. I refined it. I redid it. I made sure that it worked for people without me holding their hand. And you're going to still have people, like every once in a while, I'll get somebody who's like, the course is not working for me. And I'll be like, well, run me through what's going on. And they'll run me through it. And they're doing it completely different. I'm like, why are you doing this? This is not what I said to do. Well, I just thought, and I'm like, oh, well, you thought nothing. You're not doing it the right way. Do it the right way and you'll get results. And then they do it the right way, and then they get results. And then they're like, oh, it worked. I'm like, yeah, no crap. I mean, listen, I have refined this. I have taken, like, all right, put it this way. And I'm really close with him. One of I'm going to call him out right now. This is funny. One of my students' name is Tanner. Okay, this kid is 19 years old. Now, have you ever seen those videos on YouTube where they go and ask people like who the vice president is and they don't know?
Yeah.
This is one of those dudes. Okay,
okay,
he would totally be one of those guys. The kid is making $10,000 a month running a Facebook ad agency, and I didn't give him any private coaching.
This is from your course, from your content. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
He took the basic version. So it's like if that I refined it so that literally somebody like, and I love him. He knows I love him. But one of those dudes can make money, make that much money. That's what I was going for. You know, forget funnels, forget webinars. Let me get this down first,
right?
Okay, and let me get this to where people are gonna get results. And I did it in two things. You're either because my course goes over how to run ads for yourself or for clients. It actually didn't even start for clients at first, and then I just noticed everybody wanted to do it for clients, so I added that aspect.
Yeah.
So it works for both, and I got it to where. Like, for instance, this girl, Gretchen, she is a web designer, high-end web designer, and she didn't know nothing about Facebook ads. She spent her first $100 and landed a $6,000 client. Boom, got her. Tanner, JR, who's making 10 grand, you know, all these people. And once I had that, I knew I had something. So when I launched it big, I started getting literally every other day I get a message from Stephanie. She's like, we got another success call, and I don't even know who these people are. They sign up, they take the course, they get results, they make money, and that was the whole plan. Get results first. And that's what, you know, I know everybody's listening right there. Oh, let me funnel hack him, you know. And it's like, no, dude. You know, you could screw the whole funnel. And actually on that launch that I made My second launch where I did another $100,000, I did 500 people didn't get the webinar registration link because the API, something happened with GetResponse and the API wasn't talking to ClickFunnels, and it was their issue. I know people have had issues with that.
Yeah.
Which here's a little tip: don't use the API for anything. Use HTML parsing. It will work every time. If you use API, you can risk losing emails.
And just so y'all know what he's talking about, like when you actually go, if you're using a third-party autoresponder and you're inside ClickFunnels, up in that top right spot it says email. If you click right there and you drop in HTML and click parse, it grabs straight from the code right from your third-party autoresponder. Or you can do it through an API, and sometimes there's issues with that. So.
Right, exactly. And I didn't know that. And so like 500 people didn't get my registration email. And so I had to retarget the crap out of people and be like, hey, here's the replay. So I probably could have done more that second month, but whatever. You know, I think we talked about that. I think I messaged you about that.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah, because I made like $40,000 the week I launched it. And the first time I launched it, I made $45,000 the first day. When I first did my first webinar, it was literally my first where I did the perfect webinar script. That first day, I did $45,000.
Now, could you walk us through what the offer actually is? You know what it is.
Okay.
Or do you want to save that for the webinar? Totally fine.
No, I don't care. If people are interested, they'll watch the webinar, so they'll find it.
Yeah.
So basically, here was the secret that I did on the webinar. And I know people are going to start copying me and they're going to try to copy me, but whatever. I'm not worried. You're not going to do it as good. So
that's his challenge to you. Now you got to do it better. It's like your pride's on the line.
So I compete with my students all the time. It's funny.
That's awesome.
Actually, real quick side note: I had a student launch her course, and she did $53,000 in a week.
Wow.
And that week I had done like $20,000. So I got all pissed. Who that cost? Damn it! I got all peed off. Gee golly, darn it.
Pissed isn't a swear word, is it? I hope not.
Is it? Well, good. Then I got pissed off, and I was like, I can't let her beat me. Then I went out and made $100,000. So, but anyway, so basically, I do the 3 secrets. Now, here's the key: there is a way to get Facebook ad clients, and I'm not like, look. People don't realize how easy Facebook ads are if you ignore the noise.
Right.
There's just so much noise out there. Oh my God, the split testing and the buttons and the objectives and the acronyms. It's maddening. Dude, it has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with psychology.
Yeah.
And like my ads, they're not all crazy. They're so simple. And so if you run ads for local businesses, doctors, lawyers, gyms, chiropractors, dentists. These are very easy. I could teach you in an afternoon how to kill it for these type of businesses. All right, it's not hard. Now for coaches and courses, that's different, and I cover all that in my course. But for the webinar, I show you how to get results for those type of clients, and then I show you how to get those type of clients right away. So my first secret. And this is key. Now, this is going to be huge, right? This is like a huge value bomb right here.
Okay.
Secret number 1, I show you how to get clients literally within an hour. Like sometimes 20 minutes, 5 minutes. I've had several people do it, and they got clients before the webinar was over. So, it's like really one of my best things, and I throw it out there on the webinar. So what happens is, people start doing this technique, and I'll save the technique for the webinar, but people start doing this technique, and I say, go ahead and do it. And then I start going through the rest of the webinar. By the time I get to the pitch, people's inboxes are blowing up with people wanting them to run ads for them. Okay? And so now they got to buy the course. Because now they're getting clients, right? So they got to know how to run Facebook ads, or they got to know how to run better, or they got to know how to improve their agency, or whatever, or they got to know how to get more clients. They got to know how to run whatever. So I show them that on there. In secret 2, I show them how to get results for those clients. So I give them everything they need, and I've had several people not buy my course and get results from that webinar, and I'm okay with that. They're making money. They got clients. But for the people that want to take it to the next level, I offer them the course. And the course covers everything. It covers not only running for clients, running for yourself, whether you're a coach, a consultant, an online course, you want to run ads for restaurants, you want to add runs for nightclubs, chiropractors, doctors, lawyers, real estate, it's all in there. It's called Facebook Ads for Entrepreneurs. So it's like a very comprehensive course. It's huge. It's tons of bonuses. I mean, it's a very big course. It's huge.
Dude, that's awesome. And by the way, Dan just Zagarnik affected the crap out of all of us. By the way, if you don't know what that is, it's when you start saying something but then not finish it. So sounds like you all need to go watch that webinar. He said there's a technique that so you make people do things on the webinar to follow along with you, and they're getting results in the middle of the webinar. So by the time the pitch happens, you are the obvious answer to them continuing.
Yeah.
Genius, my friend. That is amazing.
Thank you. Now, I don't tell people, I don't say, hey, go get a real estate client, go get an online coach. And some people try it, and I even tell them not to do it.
Sure.
I show them how to get clients that are what I call easy ROI clients. These clients are you cannot possibly screw up a Facebook ad for these clients. And I give them a funnel too. I give them a free funnel. I give them everything. I give them the funnel. I give them everything they need. You cannot screw it up. Where people screw up is they watch the webinar and then they go on and they try to take on clients outside of that scope.
Sure.
And then they have a little bit of trouble. But then they buy the course and they learn how to do it for those clients as well. But I because it's a free webinar, I say, listen, I'm going to teach you how to get easy clients, how to get results for easy clients. And if you want your handheld, or you want to learn how to get results for different industries for yourself, or if you're a coach, or harder industries, or you just want to learn how to excel quicker, here's the course, right? So that really works, because I know some people out there are like, well, you shouldn't run Facebook ads if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I totally agree. But like I said, for a select few types of clients,
certain area, right?
It's stupid easy. Like, and it is, because I have had people take the course, get a client, and get stupid results. Like, for instance, I've had several instances. Okay, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I'll give you a perfect example. Corey Ellerbrook. This guy, and this almost makes me cry, this story. Corey Ellerbrook, he's a chiropractor in Texas, and Corey was about to shut down his practice. He had very little business. He was literally about to close his doors, and he had been following me for a while. He bought my course on his last credit card, like it was like his last Hail Mary.
Oh man!
And within the first day of him running an ad, he got like 5 or 6 new patients.
Wow.
On like nothing, like $40 ad spend. He later, I have a case study. I don't remember. Let me see if I can find the numbers. Here, I'll find the numbers. I'll go to my ClickFunnels. I'll tell you the exact numbers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me tell you the exact, because I want to be accurate here. Man,
I know everyone listening now is going to be just frothing at the mouth to go to danhenry.org.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, do that.
Get your credit card out and get it ready.
All right, so here's the numbers. Okay.
Sounds good, yeah.
All right, I'll give you the numbers right now. All right, so he spent $90.
Okay.
And he got 12 new patients.
12. Oh man.
Okay. Paying clients, and this is somebody who is brand new. All right. So don't tell me, see, all these people, I'm going to be honest right now, I'm going to piss off a lot of people. I see them post in the groups and all this, well, listen, to be good at Facebook ads, you got to test. You got to split test. You got to do this. You got to do that. I don't even split test my ads. I don't split test my ads. Okay.
That's huge.
Yeah. I don't need to. All right. Because I do split test. I split test audiences. I don't split test ads.
Sure.
All right. Because here's my thing. I want to create a perfect sequence for my perfect customer. So instead of trying to force and split test that ad and that copy to convince people, I want to create something that if somebody would opt into that, they'd be an easy sell. So instead of split testing the ad, I split test people. So I find the people that engage with that ad the best. That's why I get such crazy ROI. I do not split test ads. I never have. Not even still to this day, I don't split test ads.
So you want the ad to only let people in. You're not trying to convince clicks.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in for a second. And I've got flamed on even on the ClickFunnels group. You don't split test ads? Oh, I'm gonna get Molly up in arms. It's like, well, guess what? I'm doing, I'm spending like $2,000 a month in ads, and I'm making over 100. Right. So
something's working.
Something's working. I've got these crazy ROIs, and it's because of that I don't split test ads. See, to me, that's like I'm going to throw all this crap against the wall and see what sticks because I didn't take the time to know my customer. I go crazy into customer research, crazy. Right. My first step, like sometimes when I get into a new ad or industry, I go take people out to lunch. I survey them. I ask very specific questions, which I cover in my course.
Sure.
And I figure out exactly the pain points, the struggles, the roadblocks, and I interject that into a script that I have for Facebook ads. Okay, it's a formula. It's kind of like Russell's scripts, but it requires the answers from the survey to plug in, and all my ads convert immediately because of this. And I do not split test. I just don't, because I don't want to split test. I want to find the right customer. I don't want to convince people to buy my stuff. I want to find people already ready to buy my stuff. Right. Okay, because then sales become easy. So Corey, he spent $90. He had 12 new patients. Now he's actually thinking of expanding his practice. He is too busy to even talk to me. This guy was going to shut down his chiropractic practice. And now he is he's thinking about opening up a second location. He's starting to consult with other chiropractors and do ads for them. He's killing it. All right. Killing it. And I actually I got to send you the screenshot. It's a screenshot. Maybe you can put it on your.
Yeah. I'll put it in the blog.
Yeah, it's literally me talking to him, and I said something like, hey, Corey, can you help out with this thread in the student group about chiropractors? And he's like, I don't have time. I'm so slammed. And then he told me the story of the credit card thing and how he was about to close practice. And I was like, what? So, the thing is, for certain clients, I can teach you how to get crazy results for them in like a couple hours. Yeah. But now, if you want to launch an online course, you want to do something like that, I can teach you that too. That's in the course, but it's going to be more than 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
So people, if you follow a strategy where you focus on psychology, and instead of all this crazy button clicking inside the dashboard, you can get crazy results. I don't look at cost per click. I don't look at click-through rate. All those analytics are turned off in my dashboard. They're all turned off.
Wow.
Okay. I know everybody's like right now freaking out.
Yeah, that's huge.
Some people hate me. But listen, I don't split test. I don't look at cost per click. Don't give a crap what my cost per click is, what my click-through rate is, because the way that I do it, I focus solely on conversion and sales. And also here's something. I'll give you a teaser. Do you know how everybody like freaks out about targeting?
Yeah.
Did you know that in some cases you don't even need to target?
No, I actually had no idea.
Yeah, you can actually let Facebook do the work for you, and nobody knows that. Nobody actually realizes that. Like, there are some campaigns I run for local businesses. I don't do any targeting. I don't no interest targeting.
So that's pretty big.
Yeah. Listen. If it's popular, it's wrong. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Okay. I've got at least 50 students that have taken every Facebook ads course under the sun. And they always tell me, holy crap, this is so different and it works so much better. Because I take a psychological approach to Facebook ads. I don't take a button-clicking techie approach. I take a psychological, real, down-to-earth approach. These people are in their kitchen, they're driving, they're walking down the aisle in the mall, and they see your ad. You're pulling them out of their life. So you got to do something. You got to hit them in their brain in order to pull them out of their life and into your world.
Goat balls.
Goat balls. Exactly. Pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hopefully I've covered a good amount of.
Man, I can't even believe. And this is fantastic. And you're right. This is a completely different approach and it just goes to show, like, funnel hacking is awesome, and it sits in this certain realm, you know what I mean? But you're given this whole other avenue that you can go and actually be, I mean, you're kind of a pioneer, I feel like, in Facebook ads. I mean, not a lot of people do this. I don't know anyone else who does this type of strategy. This is awesome.
Well, it's you know, it's something I learned over time working with clients, because I did the same thing, man. I looked at all the other trainings out there, what everybody says, and I just hate this mentality. Oh, let's tweak, test. I don't like. Yeah, there can be a little bit of testing, but here's the thing: you will take all the 99% of all that tweaking and testing out of the equation. Mm-hmm. If you do the damn customer research and learn what your customer is thinking. Yeah. You can skip all that, because when you split test, that's all you're really doing. You're split testing things, and your split tests are literally telling you what's connecting with your customer more and more and more. So if you just figure that out from the beginning, you know, like I'm a big Ask Ryan Levesque guy. Like, my method of customer research is actually similar to the method from Ryan Levesque and Ask, but it's right, but it's like on steroids. It's like, think like Arnold Schwarzenegger, 1960s. You know, this is my customer research. Yeah, like this is like totally. It's different, but it's based on the same principles. But it's very specific questions. And what I do in my course is, when you ask the questions, you just take the popular answers and you plug them into the script. You plug them into the Facebook ad script, and it just converts.
That's amazing. Okay, that's amazing. So, I mean, you've certainly taken us through, like, this is the...
I'm really trying to make sure I get to speak at the next Funnel Hacking Live.
I will put it a plug. We just sold out yesterday, actually, at that. So,
I had a bunch of people tell me I want to go. I have this horrible fear of flying, so I don't really go to the conferences a lot. But if I'm going to get on stage, I'll take a train or something. I do have a horrible fear of flying.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of that, so let's go 30,000 foot view then. And yeah, I mean, you certainly take us through the trenches, you know, on how you're doing this. Now, just conceptually, just the overall arching strategy that you're using, for the people who are, let's say they don't want to go Facebook ads, what would you tell people to do who are still the pizza boys? You know what I mean? Who don't want to go Facebook route, but they want to do something else, some other product. What's the thing they should go do?
Well, at any point, you're going to probably need to use Facebook ads regardless. You don't have to take on clients. You can sell your own product, but you know, the quickest way to do it is with Facebook ads. You know, so I think that would be involved at some point.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, as far as their own business creation, you know.
Oh, creating a product creation?
Yeah, how should they get started?
You want my formula?
Sure.
Okay, everybody says, oh, find a problem and create a solution. Or find a problem and sell a solution. Yeah. That is so vague, okay? It's so vague. Here's my formula. Ready for it? Mm-hmm. Here it is. Find a specific problem for a specific person and create a specific solution while avoiding the common roadblock that specific person usually runs into with that specific problem.
So you're going to find something specific, but do something different.
Yeah, so basically you want to find a problem that is a problem only for a specific type of person. But you want to create a solution. And here's the most important part is your solution has to avoid the common roadblock, okay? So I'll give you an example. My course revolves around how to run Facebook ads for clients or yourself. The client aspect, what I did with this was I figured out a way to get, because everybody's big pain point is, well, I don't have results yet. Like I'm learning Facebook ads, I haven't started yet. How do I get clients if I don't have any results to show? How do I ever get clients?
So you do that before the webinar, I mean, during it, basically.
Right. So what I do is I show them, A, how to get easy clients that you can't possibly screw up, and B, how to get those clients on board before you have any results to show. Okay? Like, in other words, how you pitch them and how you sell them and how you attract them without saying, oh, look what I've done. Okay? And here's the great part. It's no risk to you or the client. And I know that sounds crazy, like that's impossible. Like how do you get a client and make it to where you can get that client without showing a result, but at the same time, you're doing it at very little risk to their bank account or your reputation? Well, I figured out a way to hit all those points. And I thought about it for a while, and I figured it out, okay? And that's what I give away on the webinar.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. So you went and you found the exact issue. That's not the fluffy issue. Those are the real, what keeps me up at night. I don't want to have more customers. I want less customers with more money, kind of thing. Like, what's the real?
Well, you also gotta remember that. Listen, if a lot of people they create like an online course, and they're like, well, this is what I want to do. No, you need to find out what to do. Okay, you need to find out. So, for instance, my first month when I made $10,000, I tell you this, the method that I teach on the webinar is like an upgraded version of that because I had tweaked it. So what I did was when I found out that was what the pain points were, I made sure to create a solution that would actually work for that. So what I did was I went into my existing small group of students. I said, hey guys, I said, do me a favor real quick. Do this thing and tell me if it works. And everybody's like, oh, no, that ain't going to work. That's not going to work. Oh, please. And I'm like, just shut up and do it. And that's how I talk to people who buy my stuff. Like, literally. Like, because they when they hear the goat balls, they get used to it.
Right.
But that's like, I literally, that's how I get so much success as well. I'm very abrasive. Like, I will take a washcloth, put it over your mouth, and pour success down your throat if I have to. Because I need your results so I can sell more courses. I need your results so I can be the next Tony Robbins. I need your results. So I'm going to I will drag you kicking and screaming through the mud to success. So don't buy my course if you want to be pampered. I don't pamper, okay?
Right.
I'm like a friggin' drill sergeant. So,
Love it.
So basically, what I did was I posted this in my student group. I said, do this thing. Everybody did it, and it worked. And people started getting clients like crazy. And remember, at this point, this was before it got big. This is before I launched. This was the small group. And so I posted it with that. It was about 20 people, and everybody started getting results. And then that's when I knew it worked. And that's when I put it in my webinar, and then I launched, and boom, it went crazy. And it works for 2. I had this one guy, he's like 65 years old. He did it, and he got 10 clients, or 10 client leads. I think he closed probably half of them within 2 days of attending the webinar. And that friggin' dude didn't even buy my course, but whatever. But,
Man, yeah.
So,
That's hilarious, man. Well, hey, I want to thank you for all the stuff you I mean, my gosh, you guys. So there's going to be this little button on your phone or computer or whatever that looks like a little half circle with an arrow. It's the repeat button, and I want you to go back and hit it and listen to this again because the value is just insane, absolutely amazing, and certainly a prolific leader, Dan. I really appreciate it. I know everyone else does also. Any final words, I guess, as we wrap it up?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know more about here's what I suggest. Get yourself a copy of .com Secrets. Get yourself a copy of Ask by Ryan Levesque. Get yourself a copy of The 4-Hour Workweek. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Get all those books. If you want to learn more about what I do and how I do Facebook ads, you can go to danhenry.org and download my cheat sheet, 7 steps to creating, running, and profiting from Facebook ads. So you can that cheat sheet is on the website. 7 simple steps to creating, running, and profiting from Facebook ads. Don't even remember the name of my own friggin'.
That's okay. You've been going for a while, just dropping tons of value, so I appreciate it. Now, the Facebook group also.
Yeah, you'll get an invite to Superhero Entrepreneurs as soon as you opt in.
Awesome.
So that you'll get in that way. So danhenry.org, get the cheat sheet. You'll then get an invite to my group, and I'm in my group all the time.
Yeah.
You'll get I'm going to tell you my whole story in a lot more detail than I went in on here because there's a lot into it. I'm going to tell you my whole story on how I went from broke to this in a 5-day sequence. In that sequence, I'll offer you a chance to watch the webinar, and then you'll see the webinar, and then you'll get a bunch of case studies and all this. And if you want to buy the course, go for it. If not, I don't know, send me chocolates.
Yeah, no, and honestly, like, you guys should go buy Dan Henry is the cutting edge on this stuff. I mean, and he's going to stay that way. That's just who he is and why he teaches what he does. Like, there's been people I've built funnels for. I'm like, hey, I'm going to build the funnel. You send the traffic. They're like, oh, okay, yeah. And they're just really excited about the funnel. It's like, funnels are great, but they are dead without traffic. You have to have people in them. So this is the other part of the pie. It's not even a full thing until you have both sides. You got to have some kind of funnel, somewhere to send people, some sequence, some automation. But if you have no traffic, I mean, you're already dead in the water. You might as well not even build a funnel. Like, so go buy his course. Go get his course.
Thank you, Stephen, for the glowing endorsement.
Yeah. This is not a planned endorsement. It's just, this is good. So
yeah.
So appreciate it.
I mean, I appreciate you having me on. This is great. I love it. A little early, but I'm sitting here like barely awake. But it was absolutely fantastic coming on, and this was my favorite podcast to do where I couldn't fly off at the mouth with profanity. So, but there are some podcasts, if you look up, that I just go nuts on, because it's just me, that's how I am. So
that's awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much, Dan. And we will, I'd love to meet up again sometime in the future and do a little follow-up.
Thanks for listening to Sales Funnel Radio. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Want to get one of today's best internet sales funnel for free? Go to salesfunnelbroker.com/free funnels to download your pre-built sales funnel today.